Come mai, come mai, la Champions League tu non la vinci mai.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while since we've been on, and we've actually got some stuff to talk about this time. It's your same three suspects. You got me, Mikey, you got Chino, and you got Hristo. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good?
Yeah. Ready to go.
Yeah, we've been getting some shit talked to us about not being on, so let's give everybody a good show.
I mean,
let's see what happens.
It's better not to be away more than 6 months, you know? It's better to be 2 weeks away.
2 months.
Yeah.
I had a knee injury. Sorry, guys. I was out for my knee was.
All right, well, let's get into it. We'll start out with some just a little bit of transfer talk. We've got a lot of the same guys still. Barella's still in the mix. Aguame, some new French kid too. I've seen some newer stuff. So we've got Lazaro maybe in. Borja maybe out. Dzeko has cooled off. I haven't heard much about that. And then the big deal today has been Cincy coming in from Sassuolo, which seems really close. The Cincy one is the newest and probably the most exciting at the moment. Chino, you maybe have any thoughts on him? You kick us off.
Well, he came as a bit of a surprise, I must say. There wasn't much talk about him. We've been going on about Barella for weeks. Dzeko for weeks, Lukaku for weeks, Lazaro for weeks now, and all of a sudden, since he appeared, I don't know how come. Well, not how come, but I guess with the talk of Borja moving to Fiorentina or in talks to move to Fiorentina, I guess he is the new backup for Brozovic, which we need badly.
Yeah.
And he definitely is an upgrade to Borja in the fact that he can actually run for 90 minutes. So we'll see how that goes with him. I can't say how much I could expect from him, but I hope he should be a good signing to rotate.
Yeah, he did score in some European qualifiers, didn't he? Maybe I'm getting that mixed up, but I think he did, and maybe that's a good.
Yeah, he did. He scored 1 goal in 2 games that he played.
Yeah, I don't watch Italy play, so sorry.
One that's caught me by surprise has been Nainggolan maybe out. I don't think he'll leave. I think he'll stay. But Hristo, what do you think about maybe Nainggolan out, maybe somebody else in?
I don't know. I don't think he's going to leave because he has too much pride to leave, especially because he was anti-Juventus when he came. And I think that under Conte, which is it's not one of, but is the best coach that we had since Mourinho. I think that Nainggolan is his type of player, but everything that he said, or at least his intentions that were brought up in the news, I think that he's doing all those things because he wants to motivate Nainggolan and actually to get the most out of it, especially when, I don't know, he's been injury prone this season, but whenever he played, he was the best player that we had.
Well, he didn't seem too bothered in the news. Nainggolan didn't. When he was doing that interview the other day, and they caught him maybe taking a sniff, you know.
Doing a bump, yeah.
I mean, allergies are all around us, so, I mean, you know.
Yeah. Maybe it's his medicine, you know.
Yeah, but honestly, as Chino said, I think that since he's going to be a quite decent player for us, because even I wanted to tweet about it, but fuck that, I'm not going to give any satisfactions to any Milan fans out there. So I keep my mouth shut. So I quite like Sensi because he's the perfect player to be a Brozovic replacement when Brozovic was out. We saw last season when Brozovic was out, Borja was the one to replace him. And even though I love Borja and I think that he's an excellent player, I think that his best days are long gone, and I think that his time at Inter is over. So I would like to see Sensi replacing Borja, but at the same time, I would like to see also Raja staying.
Yeah, I found it surprising how fast the Cincy whole issue has come up, and it's moved so fast. It's really it's really good to
Yeah.
see for once instead of just like a month of bullshitting about Barella getting someone in that quickly.
Yeah. I think the deal
We're
was pretty
not
good
used to
too.
it.
The price, 5 million loan, 20 to 25 option. Pretty good deal.
Yeah, and
And plus some Primavera player.
yeah,
Yeah.
Vergani.
Yeah.
I've never
Surprising.
seen him play, honestly.
I saw a little
Who's that?
bit. I mean, it's no different than any other Primavera striker. He could be something, probably not, but definitely won't end up like Zaniolo, where we get shit thrown back at us in like 2 months. So that's a good sign.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I hope not. I mean, I don't want to hear it. I still
mean,
have
I know
the word Zaniolo muted on my Twitter. I just
Oh, you
I
do?
can't be asked. No.
I don't blame you.
Oh fuck, those were good times. What else have we got? Plusvalenza FC still lives on. We've got some guys going out. Officially, we had Van Housden, Van Housden, and Emmers to Standard Liège for around like was it 20 million, I believe. I saw that maybe Gavioli and Hristo, some other Primavera guys, off to Genoa for 8.5 million, and then Marola possibly to Bologna, but those will have yet to be seen. But that's just capital gains because I think we still do have to make a little bit before the end of this month. And I mean, this is the way we've been doing it for years, and if it keeps working, I think we should keep going. Are you guys gonna miss any of these guys? Chino, are you gonna miss any of them?
Not one fuck. Thanks for the cash, suckers. Yeah, I don't know anything about any of them. Van Houston, or whatever his name is. He had like 2 fucking ACLs, right? His knees, both knees are gone,
Yeah,
right?
he's got glass knees.
Yeah, so I mean, he had potential. They used to rate him a while
He
back.
still
but,
has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he was praised also by Roberto
I'm not
Martinez.
missing anybody. Yeah.
It's quite the praise to be
Other than
praised
that,
by the
yeah.
national team coach, especially when you have so many good defenders in the teams, like Alderweireld or Vertonghen. And imagine someone that's so important like Martinez talking about or praising Van Huysden. I don't know. I really like him, but 20 mils for a guy that had 2 ACLs, I don't know. It's quite the price. As far as Emmers goes, I think that Emmers is going out on loan to Standard and with an option to buy.
Yeah.
So if they exercise the option to buy, then we will have buyback, I guess. Also, as Mikey said about the 2 Primavera guys, Gavioli and Hristo, I watched the Primavera games, both of them in the final and the semi-final, and Hristo and Nolan were the best players on the field. And Hristo is such a good defender.
Oh no.
No, but like he should be good. I don't know if you guys remember the guy that went to Genoa last season for Plusvalenza, the right back that played a few games on the front.
Valianti.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the next Zanetti, right?
Hey, he had the
He's
same.
really good.
He had an Etty. So I mean,
Yeah. And he was right back and he was bombing forward and shit.
yeah. I remember the preseason when he came up. I was like, man, we've got something. But then he just fucked off for a few million.
That's cool. That's
I mean,
cool.
I think that he's still young, but he's every single guy that we produce through the Primavera, most of them are, when you go out of the Primavera, most of them are ready to play either a high football in Serie B or like middle to relegation team in Serie A. So as we saw with Radu, with Benassi, Biragi, Besa, all of them are like quite ready to play serious football for like top 10 club. So I think that that's the case with both Hristo and Emmers.
I mean, we can't keep them all, right?
No, I'm not just talking about keeping them, but that option to sell them and have the buyback option for Inter, that's the best thing to do right now.
Yeah.
And we've got two guys coming in permanently now. We just redeemed Politano and his name's slipping me at the moment. Eddie Salcedo. We have officially brought those guys in. I don't think there's too much of a surprise there. It was kind of getting quiet around Politano. I thought maybe we let him go back, but I think for the price, we were going to snap him up anyway. Hristo, those guys, anything?
I think Politano is quite overrated by us as Inter fans, especially because he didn't do shit and didn't do anything. He was one of the best players that we had last season. So that tells everything you need to know about our season. And I think he's quite cheap at 20 mil, especially when someone like, I don't know, Chiesa, who's like pretty good, but he's not worth 70 or nowhere near 70. So Politano I think he's a good player to play in Conte's system as the second striker that Conte prefers to have. You know, the big and small man. So I think he's quite cheap at that price, especially the surrounding. And Salcedo, I don't know. I haven't seen much of Salcedo, but he's hyped up and we can sell him at profit at any given time. So I think Salcedo is going to go out alone with Rado to Genoa, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to both go out there.
Yeah, I mean, Salcedo was highly rated even a few seasons ago when we were linked to Pellegrini that went to Monaco eventually.
Yeah, those two guys came up together. I remember they were both like 16, bursting onto the scene, and that was.
What's his name? Pellegrini or something like that?
Yeah, Pellegrini. He's at Monaco now, if I'm not mistaken. If he's still there, I mean, if you've heard nothing, that probably means he hasn't been doing too hot. So.
Yeah, but both of them are so young. They're like 18, 19.
No, I think he got an injury. He had a season-ending injury or something, some major injury. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't follow Farmers League.
What Hristo said though, the price he paying for Politano, it was like a done deal. It makes sense to do it just at that price. Really, if Chiesa is 80 fucking million, let's be real. Politano at 20, you have to do it.
Yeah.
He didn't have the output. He promised so much. You know, he dribbled past one man, two men, and then the final product was like, okay, over the bar, a bad cross or whatever. But at that price, you know, he provided something different in the team. He could get past a man. We didn't have those many players, so that any players in the team that could get past the first defender or the second defender, anything like that. So I think he offers something different, and you know, it's a decent purchase. Nothing to shout about or celebrate, really.
Yeah, Politano, I'm still not completely sold, but for the price, it really is something you've got to do. And that's the first guy on our whole deal operation of loan plus option. That's the only guy we've picked up. And I think that also says a lot, in good or bad. When we didn't pick up Rafinha, we didn't pick up Cancelo. Even going back further, we didn't pick up Alex Telles. Like, going back, this is the first guy on that operation that we have activated.
Don't forget Keita.
Yeah, Keita, he's definitely gone. Hate to see it, but what can you do, I guess? We'll get some more guys in, probably on loans and options. And, well, since he's coming in on a loan and option, and I guess we'll keep doing that as long as we have Auxilio in the front office.
Definitely.
We've got some international duty going on right now too. We still got the Copa America going on. We had De Vrij losing with the Netherlands in the Nations League. Asamoah starts AFCON today. Pina had a good showing at the U20 World Cup, and then Bastoni and DeMarco were at the U21 Euros. With the Copa America, I've watched Brazil a couple of times. Miranda's been solid when he's played. Lautaro, the same. He's been pretty solid. He came out in that last match, but, I mean, Argentina national team, what can you expect from those guys? It's just Messi's failure over and over. Vecino got hurt, I believe, in one of the matches. I think he picked up like a glute injury or something. So I don't think he'll be back. I think he'll just be coming back for preseason. And then, it was really nice to watch Pinamonti at the U20s because of, I mean, he's banged in a couple of goals. He got the hype moving. But the other guys have had pretty quiet summers. Chino, have you been watching any of these guys? Anything you want to say on them?
So someone posted how many people scored since Conte signed for us. I think Perisic scored on international duty. Gooden got an assist to Cavani with the bicycle kick. Somebody else, a couple guys scored. Well, Pinamonti scored a couple. He got injured though, and he's not going to the Under-21 World Cup. Anybody knows about the injury? How bad it was?
On who?
I think he's at least.
Pinamonti.
I'm not sure.
I read something. He injured his knee.
Ooh.
And we were supposed to actually get some kind of compensation from FIFA about it. I don't know how true that was. Because he got injured on international duty.
I
don't think it was anything too serious.
Well, hopefully it's not too serious because I think Pinamonti will probably go back out on loan or we'll end up using him in somebody's deal. So we need him healthy for one reason or the other.
Yeah, I read that Conte wanted to see him in trading, at least to have an option or decide on what he wanted to do with him.
That's pretty promising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard.
I like him. I like him a lot, actually.
Yeah, I remember his first match a few years ago in the Europa League. He had an assist and should have had a goal. I think it was against Vienna or somebody. I can't 100% remember. It might have been. It was one of those Central European teams, and that was after that competition was already lost, so we threw on the kids. But he had an assist to Eder, and then he should have had a goal too. But ever since then, I mean, I've had some faith in him. I've wanted to see something out of him. But another year on loan might be best.
Actually, I've been reading or seeing people, I think it was Benfica, and who is it? Maybe Dortmund? Up to like 20 million they were bidding for him, I believe.
Well, I mean, if you're going to get 20 mil,
so,
I mean, I'd let him go.
I don't think it's not guaranteed that he might go on loan. People want to pay money for him. So.
Well, why would you sell him for like 15 mil when you can sell him for 10 mil to any other Serie A club?
Yeah, and just hold on to him. Have a right back at least.
If not that, if Conte doesn't like him or he thinks that he's better off on loan, you can always loan him out and he'll never lose the price because he's like 19, 20. So it's a win-win.
I mean, he can lose value if he sucks. Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
How much? If he sucks, you can sell him for 7, right? So there's no much difference between 7 and 15.
Yeah, I actually hope you hold on to him. He's the type of forward I like, simple and just scores goals, you know?
And most importantly, he won't be injured for 2 months when you need him the most. But also I wanted to say a few things about DiMarco and Bastoni. I really like them when they played last game against Poland because even though they lost, DiMarco was quite good when going forward, and he was forward most of the time. At the same time, Bastoni was quite confident on the ball, and he was pretty decent. Even though the team played an awful game, they had so many chances. And I think that if Pinamonti was actually in Italy's team, they would be better off. At least he's better than Cutrone at this moment of time.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch their last match, but I like Bastoni a lot. DiMarco, not as much, but I watched a lot of Parma last year, and I saw a lot of Bastoni, and I like what I was seeing, and I think he's another guy that could be used in a loan deal somewhere, but if he were to stay, I wouldn't mind that at all. I think he'll end up and I think he was going to be in the Barella deal on loan and DiMarco like outright. But I haven't seen too much out of DiMarco other than doing the typical
his goal against us.
The typical post-Inter player scoring against Inter.
And celebrating the shit out of it.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, no, that goal you couldn't celebrate, man. Come on, you gotta give him that.
Nah, fuck you.
Fuck that shit was like a left foot ball.
He'll never score one of these again. Like
30 meters.
Seriously.
And that's the fucking worst thing about it. that you know that he's never gonna score a goal like that, and it had to be against us. But also, Barella is one of the best players at the moment that plays for Italy, alongside Chiesa. Him or Solini, I think, and Barella. Barella was the one that like really surprised me because I didn't expect him to have such a good few games for Italy so far, especially against Spain, the first game.
Yeah, he's looked good.
Yeah, he did good.
I've watched a couple of those games, and I've seen the highlights from the ones I've missed, and it's kind of actually made me hopeful for Barella because I wasn't too hot on it to begin with because, I mean, we're just decent Italian talent, and every decent Italian talent is going to be overrated to be some kind of really good talent. So I'm always really cautious when these guys come along. But I feel like he might be proving his worth this summer, and hopefully that doesn't jack up his price too much before we can get.
It's already jacked up.
Well, if it gets extra jacked up, and we have to throw someone else in or throw an extra 10 million,
I think it's all over.
Tell Cagliari to fuck off.
You think he's coming?
I think he's coming for sure because he wanted to come to Inter no matter what, no matter what team is interested. And I think that's the thing that's gonna give us the edge upon signing him. Because if he wanted to sign with any other team, he could have by now, like 10 times. I think that PSG it was interested in.
Conte effect.
Yeah, they are. Leonardo and
Just
PSG just seem like kind of like a Verratti situation happening again.
Yeah, but I mean, they signed Verratti when Parma or Pescara was coming up, so it's quite the different case. But yeah, I think Barella, Dzeko, and Sensi now, I think they're 100% an Inter players. It's just a matter of time.
Yuck.
Well, hopefully not too much more time.
Yeah.
So I'm getting impatient. And training camp starts July 7th, I believe,
Yeah.
in Lugano. So yeah, they've got some time to, well, not much time, but they've got to get some stuff
I
done.
can't wait to watch those friendly games on YouTube against Trentino and I don't know, some third Austrian side or third division Austrian side.
Yeah, I can't wait to get gassed when Caramo scores a hat trick.
Or Gabigol assisting Pinamonti.
Ooh, 2016 all over again.
No, Gabigol won't be there until December.
Oh, fuck.
If he ever comes back.
I'm going to miss him.
Yeah.
Gabigol like a new signing. I can't wait for the
I was
headlines.
just prepared to buy the shirt, so fuck off.
Another thing to come out of this week was the under-17 team won the Scudetto on an Esposito hat trick, and he's one of the guys in the ranks of youth system that has been really highly sought after, a lot of hype, and he's another guy that seems to be stepping up to it. And also in that game, not to be forgotten, Stankovic's son saved a penalty, which, yeah, I didn't know he was in our system, and I thought that was pretty cool. Did either of you guys maybe watch that game? I didn't, honestly.
I didn't either.
But I
saw the
I've
highlights.
seen I've seen the highlights
They
too.
posted the highlights.
Yeah. And I think this Esposito kid, he looks pretty good. Esposito, I think was how it was pronounced, Italian-ish, but I'm not Italian, so berate me if you must.
Butchering all the pronunciation.
Yeah, I mean, Esposito is the most talented kid that I've seen since Balotelli, I think. I mean, I'd say Bessa was...
He's like 16, right?
I think he's 16 or 17. Let me see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really young. And I've seen that
He's
PSG
16.
offered a few moves. I think another team offered a couple of moves. But I think Inter really want to lock this kid down.
He's 6'1" at 16, 17 in a week. In a week. He's
Good
talented
God.
as fuck. I saw, as I said, the 2 Primavera games last week, and he was the best, the most technically prepared kid on the field, and every single one of those players was at least 2 or a year or 2 older than him. So that shows a lot, especially at Primavera games, where the quality is not as high compared to a professional football or first team football,
Yeah.
but he stood out.
What age group is Primavera?
I think it's like under 19s.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like the step under that, or step or two under that. I'm not sure.
I think it's a step. I
But-
think it's like under 17s, and then when you turn 18, you can, or most of them play for the Primavera, which is the under 19s.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy
But-
it's crazy that Salcedo actually played for Genoa in Serie A already, yeah? And
Yeah, he got-
and we have him playing in the Primavera.
Yeah,
I mean,
He was
we're just
starting.
trying
I
to
think
get some money off the kid.
I think he
guess.
debuted alongside with Pellegrini, and Pellegrini actually scored the last game that Totti played when they were sending him into retirement. So both of them debuted when they were like 16, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, they were really young.
the guy that's coming from Sochaux, the Agueme guy, he is going to play for the Primavera, and he already played like 15, 20 games for Sochaux in the second division of France. So
Wow. Okay.
that's a step down.
for him. Yeah.
Our Primavera is just going to be like wrecking people next year if we've got all these guys who have this like senior experience plus like Esposito coming up. Like it's going to be
And that's why you
Destroying.
need, or Italy needs, those B teams as Germany and Spain have, because Primavera is like a low-level football, and it's not like the first or Serie A. So there has to be a middle ground. If the player is not ready to play in the Serie A, and you don't want him to play against kids that are not as talented or not as good, that's why you need like B team that plays in Serie C or or Serie B.
They have
Yeah.
them, right? But we just don't have a team as yet.
I think only Juventus has. I'm pretty sure that Juventus is the only team
Yeah.
that has, but their team is
Yeah.
called Juventus Under 23s. It's not like Juventus B. So, and they're
Okay,
like
okay.
quite decent in the third division. So that's why we need.
that's a lot like the English system, right? Don't they do like U23s in like senior competitions?
I think the Under 23s have their own leagues. I'm pretty sure.
And then they also have like they play in like cups against
Yeah.
like the senior
Yeah.
teams. I believe
The
is what
FA
I was
Cup.
getting.
Yeah, I
I was
think
getting that
that's
mixed up a little bit.
that's the FA Cup that they have. Like every team can play against any team. Like I think the last season I saw like Chelsea's Under 23s playing against Leicester's first team. So they can even meet among themselves. So that's quite funny. Imagine Juventus against a Juventus B team. Oh, already have.
That's a
Yeah.
solo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
there
already
you go.
have that. I forgot.
That's just Juventus against any team below the top 10. Like not
That's-
even
God,
just Sassuolo.
fucking sickening.
Yeah, and the guy that bought Fiorentina, I'm pretty sure he said he was a Juventina or something along
Yeah.
those lines. So it's just
Rocco Commissio
Oh
or
my
something.
God.
American.
The American Italian, right?
Yeah.
What did you
Yeah.
expect?
Yep.
oh fuck. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And I think that's why Chiesa's not up for sale anymore, which is a bullet dodged. That's advantage everyone else in Serie A. But
I like him,
Won't
though,
get
to be
out
honest.
of
Right? I like him a lot.
Chiesa?
I would throw a 40 million behind him. Yeah.
I mean, I would
80 million is
40
ridiculous.
million,
And what?
yeah.
I would do a
But for
40 million.
yeah. Definitely.
Just not 70,
Yeah.
80. Like he's definitely not worth that. But seeing all the like outside of Serie A fans with his one touch on the pass from who gave him that pass?
Yeah.
Was it
Brother,
Barella?
yeah, it was
He
brother.
brought it down off of one. He brought it down one touch and then scored.
That was classic.
And
That
everyone
was a
hyping
classic
him up
piece of
after that.
control for sure. That was nice. I don't see Inter players doing that, to be honest.
Okay, fair, yeah.
Yeah.
He does it like once. Does it like once or twice a season. Like we got to remember, he was on a side that was almost relegated. He was the captain of that side. Like he should have been doing a little bit more if he was going to be worth what they were asking at that point.
I mean,
Yeah, those prices are
you're
crazy.
gonna buy a talent that's still a raw talent, and that hasn't contributed for more than 15 goals in a season. And he's like already 21, I think, or 22. Yeah.
That lady.
He's 21.
Yeah,
He's
You guys
22.
saw that tweet? I know everyone saw the tweet from what's her name? The Juventino girl.
Yeah, from the
You know,
ESPN.
Azuki. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Who said he was worth more than 100
Yeah.
million?
yeah.
And the 60 mil is like a
That
steal. I mean, I don't know.
She's on crack.
And the cheap one.
Oh my god.
Remember the L she took on Salah when she had an interview and said Salah was like a headless chicken or
Oh
something.
my god. That's...
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I
that was her.
I can't remember who she said was better than him, but she really shit up Salah. And then Salah went on to score like the most goals in Premier League that year. And
I mean, I think I had her blocked because she was talking shit about Inter. And I couldn't see her tweet, so I had to unblock her. So that had to be a sign for a terrible opinion.
Yeah, it was bad.
And how could we forget the bigger business, speaking of Juventus,
Selling
that came
selling
this
Cardi?
week with Saudi finally getting appointed manager after, it was supposed to be Pep. It was going to be Pep. But then
Mont Blanc,
Maurizio
no?
Sarri
Mont Blanc.
shows up at the training ground with a pack of smokes. Ready
Did
to
you
go.
guys see the video of Sari greeting or head shaking?
Not greetings.
No, but he had a handshake with some other journalist, and he totally zoned out Mont Blanc. And Mont Blanc was like, tried to shake his hand, and Sari just went past him. And he was like,
He was shaking. Mont Blanc was shaking Pep hand.
no,
I just couldn't see
no.
Pep.
That's some shitty banter, but okay. Let's just fucking end the show right now.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. So you think about Sarri though?
Huh?
What do you think about
I don't think that team fits him at all. Like the guys in that midfield aren't going to be able to play his style of football.
Khedira playing the Sarri ball is the perfect player for the Sarri ball. Fuck no.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It would be funny though. I think
And then like they're selling Cancelo for Trippier. Like what is going
Trippier.
on?
Yeah, I don't
Are they
understand
trying
that.
to make it harder for themselves to like win the league that they already own?
I can't believe that. Although Cancelo defensively doesn't seem... he cost them this season, eh? He cost them in the Coppa Italia for sure against Atalanta. And basically that's why they got knocked out. I think Cancelo should be a good Sarri type player, bombing forward and getting some
Yeah,
crosses
he'd
in
be
and
good in
whatnot.
that system.
I think it's just
I don't see why.
it's just money. I think they need to raise money. They still need to back up or raise funds because of this money they're spending on Cristiano. So they need
True,
just like all of us, you need to get some Plusvalenzas as well.
yeah, but like selling Cancelo for like 50 or 50 something. I think that the deal is gonna be concluded for like 50 plus some bonuses. So that's like they bought him for
Yeah.
like 40, right?
Yeah, and the appreciation,
Yeah.
1 year off the contract, or 4 year contract, that's about, so it'll be about 20 million.
I mean less
in
less than
Plusvalenza.
20, I would say, because the bonuses are later on. So even though
Yeah.
they have like 15 to 20 mil plus Valenza, they're gonna buy Trippier for 40 or Hisai for like 30. I mean, come on, you shouldn't sell Cancelo to a team that you won. Manchester City are I would say among the top 3 favorites for the Champions League next season if they play as they did like this year. So you're gonna sell a player to a direct competitor for the Champions League? I mean, that's a bad move.
Juve competed for the Champions League. Let me be real.
I mean, they want to win the
Hey,
Champions League.
Let them suffer. I don't care what they do. As long as it's negative, I'll be on Twitter
I
rejoicing.
want to see them fucking up yet another final. That's my fucking dream.
I was gonna say I need to shout out Milan Skriniar for singing the Brothers of the World song yesterday and posting it. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, I mean, he was the one who left the review. So, I mean, he's the right captain for a team, unlike the other guy that left us in middle of nowhere.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off, right?
I didn't say anything.
Well, it's time for the Dybala Icardi swap.
Yeah.
Now that Sarri is that even.
I fucking hope so.
That's off, eh? That's off.
Oh, that's what you think.
That was never.
Sorry, pretty much said.
That was never on.
It's happening. It's happening.
Like it or not, Icardi is gonna fuck off this summer. You know who's coming? The Alpha Argentine.
Who's that?
Paulo fucking Dybala, the new Messi. Huh?
He riding bench, riding pine in the Copa America right now. Can't even get a fucking minute.
He doesn't want to get.
Fake
He doesn't want to do shit until he signs with us. So it's a win-win.
Who was the guy that Scaloni brought on? I can't remember the name of the guy. Some 32-year-old fucking guy who played in Belgium or something.
The Argentine guy.
What's the guy's name? Rodriguez or whatever.
I'm not sure.
The Bala can't even get a fucking minute and he bringing on some guy from Belgium
Mati
to play.
Suarez, I think.
Yeah, Suarez, whatever the fuck it is.
I mean,
the Bala is such a waste
maybe
of time.
Conte said, don't play Dybala. He might get injured, so they are listening to him. I'm quite sure.
Possibly.
Yo,
You can let me know.
at least he's on the bench and not fucking injured in February.
Mikey, next topic.
Yes. Next topic. All right. Well, we've got something new. We've been cooking this up for the past couple of weeks. You know, this is really what has been keeping us away. We've been doing some long, hard thoughts.
I'm embarrassed to say we were thinking about this for weeks. Please.
All right. Well, without further ado, we decided that in our lifetimes as Inter fans, we're going to do our best 11s. But then there's me, who I started following the club in 2013. So I'm going to do my banter era 11. And we're just going to go around and get some reactions and see what you guys think too. You can drop us some comments, the listeners, and we want to see what you guys think too. Which one of you guys wants to go first?
Let's go
best?
for the banter era. I cannot wait to hear it.
Oh, but we got to save the best for last. Come on.
Yeah, wait. Let's go out. Let's do a best, a banter, and then a best.
Okay.
Let's break it up.
All right, who wants to be first?
Let's do it. Chino?
Oh, man. All right, cool. So this team probably wouldn't fucking win any games at all. Right? But the reason I started following Inter is because I love Argentine players. Right? And I'm a big Argentina fan, or used to be, since it starts fucking up Icardi and whatnot. I kind of locked them off. You know? But, all right, so keeper. I'm going to go with Handanovic over Cesar, to be honest.
Fuck that.
Right? Yeah. I'll give Handanovic a little credit.
I mean,
even though he never won anything or whatever.
You know that this is the best 11, not the fucking banter era 11, right?
all right. Fuck that. I'll give it Handanovic it, because Handanovic has some big saves in his career. I mean, not to win anything, but the man has done well for us. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. Say what you want. We've drugged that dude through the fucking mud of the banter era, and he's still here making saves. So,
I mean, I'll go with Julius Cesar. I think he's the best keeper that I saw. I mean, he's not the best, of course, but the best one that I've seen in my lifetime, because I've been an Inter fan since 2002, but on and off until the 2005 season. And from then on, I can remember most of the games. So that's why I'll choose him over Toldo and Handanovic, mostly because, as usual, he brought us, or he was part of the 09-10 season. So that's my pick.
Yeah.
I like to be controversial. At right back.
No, we know.
At right back, obviously, Capitano, Zanetti.
I have
no argument there,
I have
right?
Samuel in right back.
What?
Oh,
well,
fuck.
Okay.
No, sorry. I have my Con in right back. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. My con, actually, sorry.
Yeah.
My mistake. Zanetti is my left
Yeah,
back.
same.
Maicon is right back.
I went with Mykonos right back and Zanita's left back myself.
Yeah. Maicon was, for those couple of years, the best right back on the fucking planet.
Without a doubt. Even better than most of the
Without
right
a
back.
doubt.
Right now.
That Daniel Alves couldn't get a fucking sniff in that Brazil team.
Daniel Alves can go
When Maicon
to the
was playing.
favelas in Brazil and never leave Brazil since Mykonos was.
Dance or whatever he does. Yeah.
Dance with chicken, as Evra did.
I went with Walter Samuel, centre back, and Argentine favorite Nicolas Bodito.
Jesus. The coke snorting team. You only need Mutu and Adriano.
All right, who's your centre back player?
I went with Samuel and Skriniar.
Oh, Skriniar.
I would
Yeah.
have put Lucio, since Lucio was like one of my favorite players in the treble winning season. But
He went to Juve.
yeah, that's the reason why I didn't
Oh,
put
no
him.
love for Materazzi?
Yeah.
No, he's Champions League and World Cup winner, but I don't know. Quality-wise, I don't think he's nowhere near Samuel and Lucio or Skriniar in this case. But he's better than Chino's drugs or coke snorting Burdiso.
All right. My midfield. I'm going with 3 man in the midfield, right? 3 men. Cambiaso for sure. Juan Sebastian Veron.
Ooh.
And I put the name Schneider with them. What do you think?
I quite kind of agree with you because I have Cambiaso and Snyder also. But I went with 2-man midfield or 3-man midfield with 2 DMs. Cambiaso, I don't know. I'm quite biased towards the 09-10 season. But also I'm going to put Stankovic and Cambiaso with Snyder in front of them.
That sounds good. I mean, it's hard not to pick a lot of treble players, really, because it was such a good time for us. But Veron was one of my favorite players, for sure. He didn't have a long career at Inter, but wow, that fucker can play some football.
I mean, I'll never talk shit about that because the next pick that I have in my attack is Quaresma. So fuck off.
Oh,
Quaresma, Ronaldo,
That was
and
funny.
Milito.
Ooh.
okay.
All right, so I only have one of those players, Milito for sure, right? So I don't know how these 3 players gonna play on the wing or whatever, but I have Crespo, Milito, and Icardi.
That sounds like that sounds like one of these Premier League kids who's like, yeah, Cardi's gonna come to Chelsea and play right wing.
Yeah, this is 2009, 2010. Jose Mourinho, we down by maybe 1 goal and we need a goal to score and he just throwing on forwards. This is that period, right?
Yeah, but
Where we have only strikers.
so
playing.
tell me, how many Argentines do you have in your team?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Jesus
6,
Christ.
7. Yeah, I mean, I could have scraped for more, but nah. That's
Oh, I
it.
forgot Burdiso too.
The Argentine All-Star.
Yeah. It's good.
I mean,
I like
So
that
best for last.
that attack though. Wow. Cool.
Mine is quite better, but I don't know. The listeners can decide.
I could tell a lot of people though. I'll be straightforward. People cuss me or whatever. Because I used to when I started watching football. The first time I watched football was a World Cup, and I started supporting Argentina. So I was hooked on Argentine players, and I used to follow them around. I hated fucking Ronaldo.
Which World Cup? 2002.
98 was my first World Cup that I really watched.
Ah, France.
Yeah, and I hated Ronaldo because he was Brazilian. You know, so I wasn't a big fan of him at all. I mean, he's magical and whatnot, but fuck that shit.
I mean, Ronaldo and Ronaldinho were 2 of my favorite players ever, and my love for Ronaldinho like went through the window when he went to Milan. Even though I don't hate Milan, I don't like him, but I don't hate them, as it is the case with Juventus. But I don't know. The Ronaldo is by far my favorite player, and he's the reason like most Interisti are now supporting Inter.
I don't find Peter as good. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I was not a big fan of him anyway.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah, we buckled up.
Brace yourselves, strap yourselves in.
I feel sorry for you, though. I
biggest-
feel sorry for you.
The biggest banter era 11 in my time as an Inter fan. These are the 11, whether they're just terrible, whether they're memes, whether just anything that could have happened in the 6 or so years that were the banter era. Here they are. Goalkeeper, we have one Pablo Hristo.
I mean,
Oh man, what the fuck is that guy?
I would say Palacio would be a good shout for a Banterira goalkeeper.
True.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I should have gone with that. Oh fuck. But yeah, goalkeeper Hristo, left back Inter legend Caner Erkin.
Fuck that dude.
So in my we have a group chat, me and Don Tati and some other guys, right? So interestingly, we had a high power players, right? So I was like, when we signed Erkin, I was like, we now just signed the best Turkish left back in the world and all kind of stuff. Yeah,
I mean,
that shit that in text and screenshotted, and I could never get past that. I can't forget that right now.
I used to watch Turkey's games at the Euros 2016 just because of him, and that was a fucking waste of time.
That was. I wish I knew how many days exactly he was an Inter player, but it could not have been more than like 50,
Definitely.
maybe 30. Yeah, moving on to right back, another Inter legend, Jonathan. How could you go with a banter era 11 without this guy?
The new mic on.
Oh my god. There's too much. There's just too much.
Your two center backs.
I had center backs, Matias Silvestri and Juan Jesus.
That's the name I was waiting for. Matias fucking Silvestri.
Which one, Silvestri?
Oh my god. I was so pumped when he came. I was like full of praises for him. And he's the fucking worst player that I've seen in my lifetime. Alongside one more that I hope that you mention later on.
I find Vidic was a good shout though.
Vidic, I thought about Vidic, but just like some of the like vitriol that I just had for Juan Jesus, like I had to put him. So that was a tough one there. I could have gone 3 at the back, could have gone Mazzari.
Yeah.
But I just went 2 at the back.
Here you go, Campagnaro.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We had some bad guys.
I was pumped about Campagnaro being the right guy to fit in the Mazzari system.
Yeah. That did not work out at all.
The screenshots of those Mazzari 11s are just... And so in the midfield, I went with a 3-man. I went with a 3-man midfield of Kuzmanovic, Guarin, and Felipe Melo.
Kuzmanovic, Melo, and
Guarin.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's disrespect to Guarin.
He scored some good goals, but just when this was one that wasn't really because he was too trash. It was just because when I think of that era, I just think of Freddie Guarin. Like, he wasn't the worst player, but like he wasn't the greatest, but he had his good moments.
Can you give you 2 shout-outs?
But I associate him too deeply with that time.
I really like the guy.
Let me give you 2 shout-outs.
Jan Mzia.
Gabi Mudingai, Ruben Bota.
Oh yeah. Bota even played for us?
I think he did a couple of games. 10 to be exact.
Nah, I think Gabi wasn't that bad. The disrespect to Gabi. And because Manovic was so
I'm
good.
not saying that he's bad. I'm saying like Gabi Mudingai should never be a name that's associated with Inter.
Are you guys ready for this attack?
Yeah.
This attack should be putting in like 100
I
goals
hope
a
that
season.
you have the right guy for the right wing.
All right, so left wing, Bibiani. Center forward, Eder. Right wing,
Fuck
Gabigol.
you. Yeah, this actually kind of depressing. These fellas like only leave until like last year. Gabigol still contracted to us and whatnot though.
Like you're forgetting.
This is depressing.
Hey, I mean,
Wait.
I'm just saying. This is
Who's the guy that scored the header goal against Milan in the fucking?
Schelotto.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy I was waiting for, Mikey. Schelotto.
Oh fuck! I was gonna put him in too. Oh, there's too many to choose from.
Yeah.
Like I just went with like, personal memories.
Yeah.
I just went with like, these are the guys I associated
He's
so
the
heavily
guy
with
that I
it.
associated with the Banterira. He's the sole guy. Like, I
It's messed up that Nagatomo didn't get a shout in here
no,
too, eh?
come on.
That's because Nagatomo's like winning trophies now. Like respect that.
Nagatomo was
Yeah, he's a legend.
Nagatomo's
Nagatomo's a legend.
first team player for 7 years.
Yeah.
That could be part of the threat.
Like he's better than Dalbert, who we have right now. So
I mean, me and you are better than Dalbert.
I mean, yeah. fair.
Speak for yourself.
And then manager for the Banter Era 11 has to be Stefano Pioli.
Oh no!
Like he wasn't the worst, but just because of those dark days. But you can also like give a shout to Frank
Yeah.
DeBoer, who still hates us to this day.
Yeah, DeBoer.
Him or Gasperini
That man.
are like that's the like I think wasn't the Boer brought up or signed a couple of days before the season started.
Yeah.
DeBoer was signed like 2 weeks before the season started. Came out, played 3 at the back against Chievo, almost lost the next game, like won a couple, beat Juve somehow, and then
Even Stramaccioni beat them.
fucked off.
So DeBoer, let me say something funny. That season, I was away, and my flight was coming back into Trinidad like an hour or so before the first game against Kiev. So I reached home, hustling just to see that game. You know, straight from the airport.
What a waste of time.
Yeah. People still laugh at me because everybody knew I was coming in just in time to see that first game, all excited for me to reach home. You know, Dantachi had a good time that day.
What's the peak banter moment for you?
Banter moment? Oh, for me, it's gotta be. Oh fuck! What can that even be? Losing away to Hapoel Beersheba.
I would go with Schelotto scoring the goal against Milan and the 2 losses against Novara in the same season.
So this is what? Peak, like bad fucking times or good times during the Banter era?
I mean,
The worst possible moment.
Which
Or
I'll
just
do.
Banter era moment.
yeah. Like, what's the moment
think-
that you associate with the Banterira the most?
Pretty recent, that conduct beer and a game against Bologna with the ball when the ball took him off halftime.
I forgot about that.
That shit was depressing. That morning, early morning games pissed me off. You know, you're up early on a Sunday morning.
What about Kondogbia own goal against Chelsea in Singapore?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was a friendly, you know, but shit.
I woke up at like because it was like and I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch, and I through that entire match. Eder scored, Jovetic scored, and Kondogbia scored an own goal.
I didn't put Jovetic in my best 11. I should be fucking crucified.
The Montenegrin.
Baller.
Man, he was though. Like, I feel like he should have done more for us than he did.
If somebody gives me fucking power to do anything within football, and if I could go back in time, I would give us the Champions League spot in 2015-16, I think it was, when we finished 4th with Mancini, and only the first 3 teams went to the Champions League. I want to see Ljajic, Jovetic, Icardi, Perisic in the same team playing in the Champions League. That would be amazing.
Dude, Ljajic was such a baller in that 2015
Ljajic
team.
and Jovetic together is such a fucking brainless team with such a good technique and talent.
That window has to be Ozilio's best window.
Without a doubt.
Transfer season. Yeah, for sure.
And the very
Fucker brought in Miranda as well that year. Who else? Conduct up gaming as well. Yeah. U17, Jajic. Yeah.
And that was
decent
like all in
Perisic.
like the last few days of it, right?
Yeah.
Of the
That was
window?
Mancini calling everybody too, right? Mancini was allegedly calling all the players and saying, "Yeah, we have this good project going on." I think we were still under fucking Tory, right?
Yeah, it was Tohir.
Jajic, Jovetic, Montoya, Teles, Murillo, Melo, Perisic, Shaqiri, Kondogbia, all of them in the same window.
Yeah, that was an amazing summer.
Wow.
Pretty decent.
Oh man. Shaqiri, that should have been in my banter era.
Nah.
Oh god, we have.
Man went on to win a fucking Champions League. What the fuck?
Did he?
Yeah, this year.
Murillo.
Yeah.
And well, he won with Bayern too,
Oh,
right?
Shaqiri. I don't know. I'm looking at our transfers and I saw Murillo's name and I thought we were talking about Murillo. Sorry.
No.
Maria going to Barca. That's a pretty bantery moment. Too.
I the first season or the first 6 months when he was balling out, I think Real Madrid was associated with him or wanted to buy him, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that, we're not giving this gem. And let alone, he was a fucking nutcase.
Yeah, that bicycle kick though, that was really good.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, we all remember Melo breaking legs. Oh my god, we brought Santon back in the same window. Fuck.
Santon, that could have been a shout for my 11
I mean,
too.
Santon could
Definitely.
be a Banterira player for any other team because he contributed towards Juventus season last season or 2 seasons ago more than our season or during his tenure here.
Yeah.
Right, Mikey, what's next? We answering
We got some questions here. If you guys are ready to do some questions, and then we can get out of everybody's ear for a week. I think we'll take about 1, 2. I bookmarked a few from the past few days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. I think we can handle that. We'll start with this first one. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Rabith Nasreddin. Yeah, that's butchered. Rabith _ND on Twitter. He asks, can Raja have a good season next season with Inter? And what type of midfielder does Inter need? The guy puts in his personal shout. He says he wants Luka Modric playing beside Brazo, but I don't see that happening now. Does anybody want to take this? Hristo, you want to take?
Yeah.
Can Raja have a good season? And what do we need? What else do we need?
Before he answers, let's the follower know that Hristo is a big Raja fan, so he's going to be very biased there. Okay, good.
Well, you'll get your bias in there too. That's okay.
Good, yeah.
I mean, at least my bias plays actual football games.
Oh God! All right.
Your bias is a draw.
Yeah, as Chino said, I'm pretty biased, but I don't know. I think that Raja is one of the best midfielders in the league, so I don't see any reason why would he not fit in Conte's system, especially when I think we all know that he is the type of player that Conte uses or loves the most. So I think that Raja will have a good season if he is healthy, which nobody else or nobody knows if he's going to be healthy throughout the season. And I think that both of the players that we are linked with, both Barella and Sensi, are the types or type of midfielders that we need the most, because Sensi is the perfect Brozo replacement, because we didn't have anyone to replace Brozo with, or at least anyone that can play actual 90 minutes. And Barella is like combination of every player that we have. He's passing the ball as Brozo is. He's running a lot, like Brozo and Raja, but also Vecino. And he's going up the field back and down. So I think that Sensi and Barella are quite the decent players and quite the players that we need in our midfield.
Do you think we'll bring in anybody else in the midfield? Maybe someone that'll sell some jerseys, or do you think that's going to be somebody that we bring in on our attack?
I think that's it. I think that if Icardi is going out, I think that Lukaku's coming. And I don't think if Lukaku is the one that's going to sell shirts, but I don't know. I don't think any big name besides Lukaku is coming in. I think that Barella and Sensi are coming in. Dzeko is pretty sure that he's coming in too. Who else? Godin.
Yeah, Godin should sell some shirts. I'd buy a Godin shirt, so I'll put that out there. And do you see Luka Modric, like this guy's saying? I'm sure none of you guys think that, even though it was a wonderful thought for a summer, but it's probably not
Yeah, I
happening
mean, I
ever.
was pretty sure that he would come in last season, and it was pretty certain that he is coming in. But Perez or Florentino Perez was the one that stopped the transfer, so I don't see him coming in Inter.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't think we need him per se anymore.
I mean, you always need a
He could be a good
world-class
player,
player.
but I mean, to have a guy like him, you need two competent runners next to
I
him.
don't care.
What, he'll replace?
You are a
He'll replace who? Brozovic, maybe.
you are
He'll replace
golden
Sensi.
ball winner. You'll always work.
No. Obviously, he's competent. He's great. He's world class. We could take him, but I don't see him fitting or as somebody necessary right now. Really, I don't see it happening again. For me, at least.
What do you think, Chino? Will Raja have a good season, and are the two guys that we brought in, are they enough? Or the two guys we're probably bringing in?
I think it's up to Raja if he wants to have a good season or not, really. If he wants to behave, stop the drinking so much, partying and whatnot. I think he can do it. He has all the potential, all the quality to perform. He was or he can be our best midfielder if, he stays fit and does what he does to do. For sure. I can't say, I mean, for years upon years, we've been crying for some creativity in the midfield. I think Conte now comes in and he doesn't need an attacking midfielder, does he? For his style or for his basic formation that he plays, this 3-5-2 or this 3-4-3. He doesn't need an attacking midfielder.
He doesn't play any kind of 10, which is what we've missed for a long time. So we kind of dodging something there.
So I guess we finally got the manager for the squad that we have, somewhat. So we'll see. Barella, I like the guys who come. We expect to come in so far. Barella have legs, could run up and down, could travel the ball. Sensi as well. Brozovic, Nangolan. Decent midfield right now. I don't expect much.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on to the next question. This one's from @NZ Interista, better known as Jan Karamo, the W Merchant on Twitter.
Juan Waramo?
Juan Waramo. He says, you can only sign 3 players. Who do we sign? I'll take this as being realistic because, I mean, we're not going to sign like Messi, Ronaldo, Suarez, or anything.
Oh, no, I don't fucking think now then. Jeez.
So we can sign 3 players. Who do we sign? For me, I would just go with, I think a lot of what we're doing now, I'd go with, I'd bring in Barella, even though I rag on him so much. Bring in Barella. We bring in a winger like Rebic. I'd love Rebic at Inter. And we probably would need another left wing back, which I don't have a name for anybody. But yeah, I'd bring in unknown or unnamed left wing back. I'd bring in Barella for the midfield, and I'd bring in Rebic for attack. Chino, year 3, guys.
I would like to get Cancelo back. I think he'll be a good player for us as right wing back.
Yeah, he would be.
Yeah, Cancelo. I will still take Chiesa for sure, and maybe Palmieri for left wing back. I think those are the positions I think we could upgrade. If we don't sell anybody up front like Icardi and Paris stays, I think maybe we could take those kind of players. Palmieri.
Yeah, that's pretty realistic. That's pretty fair.
Yeah, Cancelo maybe, yeah. I'll take those.
I'd love to see Cancelo back. I hated when he left.
Yeah.
But Hristo, year 3, guys.
Swap Dybala with Icardi, by Lukaku, and I would say Barella. I think I quite like him.
Yeah, Barella's growing on me also, so I see that. I'm glad that you guys stayed realistic and didn't really go too wild with
I
that
mean,
one.
we've haven't been spoiled since, I don't know, since 2010. So our mind is very
Yeah.
limited.
Thanks, guys, if you made it this far. We will be back soon with just whatever's new with transfers, with any other news. We'll be back soon. Thanks for listening.